This is David Smoak's statewide Texas high school football podcast on 365 Sports and powered by Smoaky.com and sponsored by Peter Chevrolet in Longview, an innovative third-generation family dealership dedicated to ethics, integrity, and the community, while creating friendly, intelligent, and transparent environment to assist with any automotive need, large or small.
McNair in the gun with under 2 minutes left, down 44-0, trying to get a score. English right side, and he will score. Touchdown, the senior, Ryland English from 2 yards out.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. We are an insurance provider built by Texans for Texans. We've been protecting families in our great state since 1952. Sturdy Steel. We build more than grandstands and press boxes. We build the spaces where communities come together. Based in Texas and serving communities nationwide. Batteries Plus. We have the person who can fix what you need with expert knowledge on batteries and have you on your way and good to go in no time. Batteries Plus, the experts in charge. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, with locations throughout the Southwest, serving up tasty food since 1989, including off I-35 in Waco. Next in line, Marco's Pizza, the fastest growing pizza brand in America. Marco's Pizza, Marcos.com. Pizza lovers get it with 5 locations in the Waco area. Bird Culchin Ford on the Loop and Highway 6 in Waco. And Waco's trusted Ford dealer since 1936. And customers know they can expect us to be fair, honest, affordable, and always committed to the tradition of quality service.
It is week number 6 of the Texas high school football season, and it is October. What happened? Where did everything go? What a week we just came off of, and we will get to some of the scores, the best wins, etc. And we're going to feature a young man who is special. He's a hell of a football player, but he's also great in track and field and other sports. He is right now a 2A football player in a town that has not had many players who have been recruited to play college football, and he's going to probably as one of the top 5 most prestigious academic institutions in America to do more than football. Ryland Morris of Honeygrove will join us later today in the show, and he is something, I mean, I'm telling you, I can't wait to talk to him, and hopefully you'll enjoy the segment we do with Ryland Morris. Now, let's do this. This is my tweet after I got home late Friday night. I did the Midway Harker Heights game, a great win for Harker Heights. We'll get to that in a moment. I just decided I was going to put this up. And I said, I don't have the time to go through every score, but glancing at Thursday and Friday's scores, I bet it's the highest scoring week in Texas high school football history. What I mean by that is that there were, like on Thursday alone, 8 to 10 or 12 games that went above 50 or 40, 50, 60, 70 points. Then when I started scanning the scores on Friday night, when I got back to where I live and finished up my broadcast and start putting things together to summarize and put the weekend of high school football to sleep and move into the next week, I was like, my God. I saw a good friend of mine, Justin Wells. He covers UT. He covers recruiting. He's also an East Texas kid, and I've known him a long time. He was covering the Tyler High School game against Highland Park in Tyler at Rose Stadium. Highland Park, I thought, would probably win that game by 2 or 3 touchdowns. 70-66 was the final score. This isn't basketball. We know games can get a little bit crazy. Highland Park, 70. Tyler High, 66. He was there to cover some of the underclassmen, of course, covering Highland Park with some players too, but some of the underclassmen at Granbury, the quarterback, Harrelson is the wide receiver. And oh my gosh, I just went blank on a young man from Tyler High School who's also just does everything. Maybe I'll be able to get that name here in a minute. I did, but also you hear about scoregami where there's a unique score that you never get before, like the Cowboys 40 and the Packers 40. Never happened in the NFL. There used to be ties all the time. Now you're going to get one occasionally because of the way the rules are in overtime. 38-37's happened before. But I kept looking, and I was like, 38-37. This game's 38-37. That game's 38-37. I just thought that was pretty unique. Now, was it the highest scoring weekend in Texas high school football history? No one knows. I've talked to Jerry Forrest. I've talked to Matt Stepp or whatever. There is no record of that. but I would bet it's among the top 5 highest scoring 1 week combined scores ever in Texas high school football history. I've been doing this for a long time because 45 years. Here's a note. So leave that up for a second. Garrett Ross, thank you, Garrett Ross, being a part of the podcast every week. We appreciate him being a part of this, and he's also a huge high school football fan. So Kansas, this past week, there was a game between Andale and El Dorado. 104-0. Now, everyone's going, oh, my God, they ran up the score. Well, listen, we've seen 6-man scores get out of hand. They do have that mercy rule at 45 or 6 points, right, Garrett, at halftime or at any time in the second half or by halftime. They're 107 points, 1,000 yards rushing. Meadville beat Du Bois. It made me wonder. Like I've never done a game. I've done, I would say, a few hundred high school football games. I've covered a bunch of them, broadcast a bunch of, most of them broadcast. But I've never seen a team. I don't think I've ever seen a team. I think back when Rodney Thomas, the great A&M running back, and then he went on to play in the NFL, passed away way too early, but he was at Groveton High School. They beat Cooper one year, like 82-0 or 82-, and Cooper was good. That's Bam Morris's alma mater, who played at Tech and with the Steelers. They put up, I think it was at Rose State, like 82-something. But I've never seen a game. I've seen games 70. I've seen them 100 points. So I started thinking, how many times in the state of Texas have teams scored 100 points? 114 times. Did you know that? I did not know that. And we're talking about back to when we started, like running water, electricity, and the sun was coming up in the morning. The first 100-point game ever, I just couldn't, I had to find this, was Central High School in Houston beating Heights in Houston 111-0 in 1911. The highest scoring game, and these are 6-man schools, Spur beat Lorenzo. This is 1930, 186-0. The last 100-point game, it was in the Central Texas area when Valley Mills beat Grandview 103-0. Now, I always think about the highest scoring games as like, for example, you see 130-106 in 6-man football. That can happen. And then the teams with the most 100-point games, it's not the current Waco High, which was consolidated, remember, with Richfield and others. This was the old Waco High that won state championships. Their stadium has it been torn down on Lake Air Drive?
It hasn't been torn down. They renovated it. They used it as JV and for practice.
Okay, because Waco High now on their campus has a football stadium for the sub-varsity, and that's where they practice and all that. But I drive by Lake Air all the time. It's over near the what is it? The
Extraco event.
Yes, sir. Thank God you're here this morning, Garrett. You're helping me with a lot of little things that kind of at my age. But old Waco High with Paul Tyson Field. That field's right there on Lake Air Drive off the campus. That is the old Waco High. 11 times they scored 100 points or more. Now, let me look back at some of the better games. Speaking of a high-scoring game, Coolidge beat Oglesby in 6-man. Oglesby's really good. That's the first regular season loss for Jeff Dixon at Oglesby since September of 2022. That's 3 years ago. Great win for Coolidge. DeSoto, remember we featured Waxahachie? Then, my goodness, they turned around, beat Duncanville in a great win. Then they had to turn around and play DeSoto. DeSoto got them. You had to think there was a little bit of a drop in emotions after the huge win against Duncanville, but DeSoto also, they needed to kind of flex their muscles. Claude Mathis and the Eagles win 40-17. I did the Harker Heights game with Midway, with Sean Hunt, Faith Lynch, also with Walker Saunders, and James Fulbright, the former Midway running back. This was just old school, 24-21, Harker Heights. Oakley Goins hits a 44-yard field goal with no time. Well, there was like basically no time left. They recovered a fumble from star running back Lathan Wissington with about 2 minutes left, milked the clock, kicked the field goal, and the defending champions in 12-6A, they're really, really good. Midway is good, but they have injuries now that are starting to mount on them. That's not why they lost that game. but they have now linebackers and they got players out, a lot of players out. And they play now Shoemaker they have 8 to 12 players. Some of them have committed. For example, they have a defensive lineman, I think, an offensive tackle that's committed to Houston. Players with at least offers from Arizona State, Washington. They have player committed to Texas State. They're really, really good. So that's this week. But Harker Heights, that's a nice win for them. Shoemaker, speaking of them, last-second field goal from the kicker to beat Temple at Temple, 31-28. Melissa, 40, Anna, 34. You know, you take Argyle, Salina, Melissa, and Anna, and all those schools, man, they're all good. Richmond, Randall, remember last year? They were phenomenal. Beat Iowa Colony 49-42. That was back and forth. This one here surprised me, not because Stephenville beat La Vega. 64-28. La Vega's good. Courtney Parr, the quarterback, Jabari Thornton, who was committed to Oklahoma State. Now people are going to find him. He's a great receiver. 64-28 surprised me. Salina, remember, we featured them. They have had that battering ram of a non-district. They got tested. Frisco, Panther Creek, but Salina wins at 35-28. This one was a little bit higher, this was more of a blowout than I thought. Lindale, Chris Cochran, 64, Chapel Hill, 28. Franklin, Garrett, did you know this? Remember they played Houston Legacy?
Yep.
The private school with their quarterback, Keyshawn Henderson.
He's good.
5-star commit to Willie Fritz in Houston. Franklin, they're a 3A school, beat Legacy, 49-48. Legacy coached by former Kansas State star Michael Bishop. My high school alma mater, I went to 3 high schools in 4 years, military brat. My first year, I went to Chofu High School in Japan. My sophomore, junior years, some bases were consolidated in Japan, and I went to Yokota High School, which was kind of hard. That was a rival. We had beaten them. I didn't like that. But, you know, eventually I wore that baby blue and gold. Then I went to Randolph right before my senior year. I love Randolph, the Rohawks. They beat Cole 28-7. Carl Padilla, who along with Jerry Forrest have these index ratings, right? They do what they do is amazing. He told me about 2-3 weeks ago, Randolph got smoked by Blanco early in the year, and they've been beating people up. But Randolph, Elliot Ortiz, their head coach, they beat Cole again. Remember last year they beat them on the last second on a touchdown pass and an extra point? They own the Cougars. Air Force Base, Army Base. Fort Sam Houston, God bless all of our troops there, and Randolph Air Force Base with all of our servicemen and women there too. Randolph wins that game again. I thought this was a surprise. Not the troop beat ARP. That's you guys. They're basically troop and ARP like this, tied together. Like they're like these pins. They're right next to each other, just south of Tyler. I knew troop was good. ARP was good. Troop 40-6. They smoked the ARP Tigers. And then I mentioned high-scoring games. C.E. King beat Atascocita 70-55. I mentioned Highland Park and Tyler High. Grandview 63, Spring Hill 55. Alvarado 55, Glen Rose 50. Those are just some of the games that got really wacky, high-scoring games. All right, Lexington quarterback Mike Gundy fired. Jabari Thornton, wide receiver La Vega, remember, decommitted. We had that story. Case Evans, a very prolific quarterback at Lexington High School with Kirk Moole, the head coach. He decommitted. He went and visited Iowa State, and he was committed. He was committed to Oklahoma State. He was offered on a trip. He went up to Ames, and Matt Campbell offered him a scholarship. So watch that. Couple of other individual notes, and then Ryland Morris will join us. Frost beat Wortham. They had a shutout. You don't see a lot of shutouts. There's a few, but not a lot. Frost beat Wortham 24-0. Okay, nice win. They had 18 plays on defense behind the line of scrimmage. That's how you shut somebody out. They had 18 tackles for losses combined with sacks in the shutout win. Nice win for Frost. Now, a couple of other individual notes, and then we have Ryland. Luke Babin, quarterback at Woodville, a sophomore, 8 touchdown passes. Brandon Nunu Kennedy, how do you not like that name? The young man, senior from Elysian Fields, he had 179 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. 3 rushing touchdowns, 96 yards. He had a kick return for a touchdown. He also scored on a 2-point conversion. 15 tackles and a tackle behind the line of scrimmage in a win against Beckville. Let's see here. Court Ray, quarterback, a sophomore at Canton, 6 touchdowns. Jeffrey Richardson, junior running back from Timpson, 268 yards and 4 touchdowns to beat Wolf City. Hey, this is an interesting note. I had to even get a hold of Davin Nelson, the head coach at Dangerfield. Dangerfield beat Redwater 63-13. Tanner Teeter, the quarterback, he had 294 yards passing, 5 touchdowns. He is normally the starting linebacker. Now, at that level, you have guys that go both ways, but the quarterback got hurt early. Their starter, he steps in and throws 294 yards and 5 touchdowns. Lindale, mentioned that win against Chapel Hill. Hank Thurman, remember Clint Thurman was there, a really good player for them. 39 carries for 208 yards and a couple of touchdowns. I love it when running backs get a chance to carry the ball that much, and Lindale will pound it down your throat. Colt Yancey, quarterback at Pleasant Grove. They had a nice win against Sunnyvale, 371 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. Let me give you a couple of defensive notes. Eli Carnes at Athens had 9 tackles, 2 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown on the opening possession, and then had a fumble return for a touchdown, and also had 4 quarterback pressures. They beat Waco Conley up pretty big. And let's see. Cole Collins, Fairfield, 4 touchdown passes, 400 yards. Valley Mills running back, Deshaun Johnson, 243 yards, 5 touchdowns. Let's see here. Tank Scott, Bremont, they beat Mart, 342 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns. And let me see here. Jabari Thornton, I mentioned him. They lost to Stephenville, 14 catches, 219 yards, and a couple of scores. I like this one from Troy. Nose tackle Tedrick Calhoun, 12 tackles, 4 tackles for losses, 3 sacks, a batted down pass, and then he took over and started playing center in the second half. And on top of that, blocked a couple of field goals in a win against Maypearl. I mentioned Oakley Goins, the 44-yard field goal to beat Midway. And Joshua Narvez Torres at Shoemaker kicked the field goal, 29-yarder with no time left to beat Temple. Also was 2 for 2 extra points. Had a punt for 56 yards. It was downed inside the 5, and 4 kickoffs that were touchbacks. Amazing. A bunch of great performances throughout Texas high school football. Ryland Morris of Honey Grove, next on this weekly statewide podcast, Smoaky.com and 365 Sports.
My go-to guy. Can you fix my smartphone?
Yes.
Do you have car batteries?
Yeah.
What about golf cart batteries?
Of course.
Battery from a G-Fob?
Absolutely.
My boat?
Huge variety.
Toy boat?
Sure.
Motorcycles?
You bet.
My apartment building?
Whole building.
Do you have batteries for my party lights?
Yeah.
Batteries Plus, the experts in charge.
Whatever it is you wrangle, whatever seeds you sow, no matter what you nurture or what you choose to grow, at Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, we're proud to protect all Texans.
Peters Ram in Longview is gearing up for this football season during the Make This the Summer event going on now. Make all the right moves by getting 25% off MSRP on new select Ram 1500 Lone Star Crew Cabs. The season is looking good with the largest selection of new Ram trucks at Peters Ram during the Make This the Summer event. Online at peterscars.com.
At Sturdy Steel, we build more than grandstands and press boxes. We build the spaces where communities come together. Based in Texas and serving communities nationwide, we're proud of our reputation for dependable, high-quality work and strong client relationships that stand the test of time. From concept to installation, our team of skilled drafters, welders, and installers takes pride in delivering seating solutions designed to last. With a focus on dependability, transparency, and service, we are here to make the unique needs of architects, contractors, schools, and venues across the country. We ensure every project is seamless, sturdy, and ready for generations of fans to enjoy. That's Sturdy Steel. This is David Smoak's statewide Texas high school football podcast on 365 Sports and powered by Smoaky.com and sponsored by Peter Chevrolet in Longview, an innovative third-generation family dealership dedicated to ethics, integrity, and the community, while creating friendly, intelligent, and transparent environment to assist with any automotive need, large or small.
McNair in the gun with under 2 minutes left, down 44-0, trying to get a score. English right side, and he will score. Touchdown, the senior, Ryeland English from 2 yards out.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. We are an insurance provider built by Texans for Texans. We've been protecting families in our great state since 1952. Sturdy Steel. We build more than grandstands and press boxes. We build the spaces where communities come together. Based in Texas and serving communities nationwide. Batteries Plus. We have the person who can fix what you need with expert knowledge on batteries and have you on your way and good to go in no time. Batteries Plus, the experts in charge. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, with locations throughout the Southwest, serving up tasty food since 1989, including off I-35 in Waco. Next in line, Marco's Pizza, the fastest growing pizza brand in America. Marco's Pizza, Marcos.com. Pizza lovers get it with 5 locations in the Waco area. Bird Culchin Ford on the Loop and Highway 6 in Waco. And Waco's trusted Ford dealer since 1936. And customers know they can expect us to be fair, honest, affordable, and always committed to the tradition of quality service.
Man, I tell you what, I've been watching this young man, his statistics. There's a couple of guys in East Texas, Kagan Ash at Mount Enterprise and Ryland Morris at Honey Grove, that are putting up crazy numbers. Other players are too. East Texas, you know about all the history of great players that have come out of that area. And Ryland Morris of Honey Grove joins me, David Smoak, on the statewide high school football podcast. All right, tilt that camera down so everybody can see what you have on your shirt. And it's look at that, Stanford Cardinal. What I love about Stanford, one, academically, it's as good as it gets, and their football has tradition, although right now it's a little bit down with all the changes in conference realignment. I like mascots, Ryland, that don't have an S. You know, like the Bulldogs and the Tigers and the Lions and the Cornhuskers and the Longhorns. I like it just, the Stanford Cardinal. It kind of just speaks for itself.
Yes,
when was the first time, when was the first time you knew much at all about Stanford, Stanford University?
I mean, growing up, I knew all about him. Watching Christian McCaffrey, watching Andrew Luck, and I mean, I saw the culture there, and then it kind of fell off, so I stopped kind of watching him. But I believe that with the great class coming in 2026, we can bring back to that. So,
all right. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, okay, Garrett is going to play some highlights. A tweet from you. We'll turn the sound down if we can. Oh, that's okay. There you are. There we are. Number 5, Ryland Morris. Here we go. So, man, you just make it look so easy. I know it's not, but when you watch yourself, what do you think?
When I watch myself, I mean, I try to. Most of the time, I'm worried about my ball security. It's pretty bad at the moment. I got to get that fixed. But I just like to see how explosive I am, and then just try to critique myself in any way I can.
So you've played quarterback before. Last year you had to play some wide receiver. You were injured, and so you came back and things were rolling. What is the best characteristic of you as a runner with the ball? Is it vision, balance, power, speed, or what?
I would say it's definitely a combination of vision and speed. Sometimes I tend to get ahead of my linemen sometimes, but I think the vision makes up for a lot of mistakes that I make, and then the speed, of course, speaks for itself.
So did you just instinctively, you just had it? I mean, some guys just have it, and you just have always been really, electric. But what was the one thing about being a running back? You had to learn a little bit along the way. Was it patience and letting the blocks set up, or what was it you had to get better at?
I would definitely say it's patience, and I'd say I'm still learning that aspect of it. The vision, it's been there. My instincts have always been there, but learning like what the offensive linemen are doing and where I fit into the offense is definitely something that I've had to learn along the way, and it's still learning.
Who was a better runner, your dad, Buster, or your stepdad, Buster, or you?
I'd definitely say me.
Does he know you say that? I mean, do you guys talk about that? He put up some big numbers now. He went to Honey Grove,
Yes,
back in 2000 to 2003?
Yes, sir. I mean, as a household, we always talk about football, but it's never really comparisons, but I think he knows.
Yeah. So you are committed to Stanford. We discussed that. You committed to Baylor. I know Keenan Hall, the running backs coach, does a great job of recruiting, and it's not like they haven't stopped, I'm sure, being in touch with you, and there's others, Oklahoma and many others, but you were committed to Baylor, and then all of a sudden, Stanford. What changed for you, and who's the most famous Stanford alum to ever reach out to you?
I would have to say what changed is really looking into the future. I mean, you play football for so long, but you have a whole life to live after football. Football, you don't even play football for after your life. So it was definitely looking at it from that aspect, knowing that the life after football, going to Stanford, it'll just elevate me, put it in a whole different category. And then I would have to say the most famous Stanford alum, probably Richard Sherman. I'd say
Richard Sherman. Did he text you or call you, or you see him when you were on a visit? How did that go down?
I've saw him a couple of times, and then I saw him a couple of times this year.
All right. Would you like at some point, if you got to meet Tiger Woods and also Condoleezza Rice is a Stanford grad, wouldn't that be pretty cool? I mean, there's a bunch of great names that come from that school. Wow.
Yeah. And it's great because a lot of the big names aren't just football alumni. Stanford is literally the pinnacle of sports.
Yeah, no, their history, again, you even mentioned this, they're trying to put this class together to get back on track. Andrew Luck is taking over the program. They, of course, had a coaching change, too. So, there's guy, Jim Plunkett, won a Heisman Trophy. You don't even remember, you were not even, you don't have any idea about that. I'm sure you do a little bit of the history. You mentioned Christian McCaffrey, among many, many others. When you look at the conference, and Stanford's in the ACC, and they're in California, just like the Cal Bears, their arch rival. Does that have anything to do with where you want to play football?
The conference, not so much. I mean, it's great that they're in the ACC. We have good competition like Clemson, and then of course
Florida State, Miami. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I wouldn't say that has a big impact into why I chose there, but it's definitely another plus.
You mentioned the academics, and I do something every year. I've done this now for, oh my goodness, since 1990. I honor, when I was in Tyler Longview, I honored what were student athletes, young men and women who played sports. They had to be a part of sports, but they had to have fantastic academics, and they didn't have to be the valedictorian, but they had to be like the who's who at their school in many ways or around the community. So that means a great deal to me. I can't even imagine getting contacted to be a part of that type of a school. What does that mean to you? And it obviously says you take care of your academic business.
It definitely means that my parents led me up in the right way. I mean, they've never joked around when it came to academics, and I've never really had to give them anything to worry about. But it's definitely good to know that all the years of my hard work, paying attention in the classroom, it's all starting to pay off, and just living the right lifestyle, and not necessarily doing all the things that I had the chance to do. In the bad things that throw me off my path. It definitely I'm appreciative of the opportunity because it shows me that everything that I've done was for something. It's for a bigger purpose, and that missing out on some of the fun stuff was worth it in the long run.
Do the records you put up mean anything to you?
Yes, sir. They definitely do, just because I'm big about legacy, and I always want to have a legacy to look back, and long after I'm gone, for my kids to look back and just to be on the record boards around Honey Grove, around Texas, it means a great deal.
All right, now you're either going to hurt my feelings or you're going to make me feel better. I have a website, Smoaky.com. Have you ever been on that website?
Yes, sir.
You have?
Yes, sir.
And have you seen your name in the section for Honey Grove?
Yes, sir.
It's worth it just because of your answer. You have no idea how much I try to get so much back from coaches every weekend. I was traveling last weekend, but I'm always scratching and clawing. This is the game with Blue Ridge 2 weeks ago. 375, 8 touchdowns, 6 rushing, 2 receiving, and you scored what, 50 of the 52 points in that game?
Yeah, I think 52 of the 53. Yes, sir.
Well, why didn't you score 53, Ryland? I mean, my goodness, that's an extra point. I got that from Coach Little, blew me away. I've seen some incredible numbers come down over the years of 44 or 45 years covering high school football. Now, you missed part of last year. How much did you miss the game when you couldn't play the game?
Man, it was a different perspective just because I've never really been hurt before, but it definitely made me appreciate the game a lot more. Made me appreciate practice, the camaraderie of coming together with the guys. I mean, I was definitely there in spirit, coaching up the guys, making sure that the energy was still high, but it's different not being on the field. It really hits your heart.
I have a couple of stories that I learned about you. Mm-hmm. Well, more than one, but one of them was so the offensive lineman, for whatever reason, this is from Coach Little, didn't have any water at practice. And you went across the field, filled up water bottles for your teammates. There was no photo op. It wasn't on TV. It wasn't just to make you look good. That was something you just did. Do you remember that? And what made you do that?
Oh, it's a no-brainer. I mean, I get all the spotlight, right?
Yep.
So and we're all doing work. We're all doing work, putting our efforts together. But I'm the only one that gets the spotlight, and I try to make sure that my offensive lineman knows that I appreciate them and that what they're doing, their efforts, that they come hard every practice, and that's all appreciated.
So can you describe the story when Coach Little was trying to carry some blocking dummies into practice, and you went and what did you do?
So when it was around when he first got here, he was carrying some dummies out, and in my high school career, I've never seen a head coach I'm not willing, but I've never seen a head coach have to carry the dummies out. I mean, our lower classmen always took care of that. So just instinct in my brain, seeing our head coach, he just got here, just making sure that he felt like, that we made him feel like he belonged, like he was welcome. And it was a no-brainer, again, just to take him out of his hands.
Just what you do, right?
Yeah, that's not his job.
Describe yourself to me. I've only met you for 8 to 10 minutes on an interview. I've kept up with you.
Yes, sir.
Very excited to have this opportunity to share this story and your story with a lot of people around the state and elsewhere. Describe Ryland Morris to those who don't know you.
I would say I love to sleep. I'm very spontaneous. I have a new thing every week, whether it's learning to solve a Rubik's Cube or learning where every country in the world is. I love football, of course. I love to watch movies. I'm really high on a show called Naruto right now. That's pretty much me. When I go home, I like to sleep and hang out with my family and my friends. And, that's pretty much it.
But you're somebody, despite who you are and what you've done, the records and all of what people want you to be at their university or college or campus, but when you're in a group, it's not like, from what I've been told, it's not like you raise your hand and say, hey, I'm here, or walk around like you're Ryland Morris. You don't really stand out. That to me is an incredible characteristic. It's like you're very humble. Where did you learn that?
Ooh, I would say me being humble, it probably came from just my family at home. I mean, I was always in competition with my brother. And my mom has always instilled in us young that that things happen to you for a reason, and that you can never take them for granted. So I make sure to thank God every day. I know that He gives me the strength to do everything that I do. So I guess not being cocky in that aspect is me just knowing that it's not in my own strength. So it just helps me stay humble and stay grounded.
You mentioned earlier that you've maybe not been able to do some things that a normal high school kid can do, or student athlete, young man or woman, but you have this focus of what you need to do. You also mentioned you've been able to kind of stay the course. Was there ever a time in your life where you were not on the edge of doing something like really bad, but where you had to be tested a little bit?
Definitely just missing a lot of the time spent with my friends and family. I was always traveling, going to camps, working out, doing 7-on-7. So it kind of like in the early stages, I was kind of like, what is all this for? And, my mom has always been looking for places and ways to get me out there, especially being from a small town, just to give me the same type of recruitment or access to certain facilities as the bigger schools. So I would say staying the course. It took a toll on me, big on the early stages. But now that I kind of understand what it's all for and where I'm going, I kind of take it with grace.
I love that. I mentioned your stepfather, but your mom, you mentioned her. She was like a track star. Your father was also a heck of a player. They are deeply and heavily involved with your life. And also Dion, Aiden, Rosalind, and Relia.
Yes,
are those
sir.
your siblings? That's your sisters and brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your face lit up. You started smiling.
Oh yeah, those are my dogs, man. I love spending time with them. I feel like that bond is something that a lot of people don't have. We all get along. We all we'll hang out in a room in the house just together for hours and laugh and giggle. My brother's gone off to college, but that was rough when he left. And then my dad, he was a heck of a football player. I got my jersey number from him. I looked up to him for a lot. So yes, sir.
Did you ever see any video of him? Was there any film of when he played?
I don't think so. I don't think I've seen any. There might be some around, but I haven't really seen any.
Yeah, I go one because I'm pretty old. I don't feel that way, but I still have an old 8mm, like the can, where they had the film.
Yes, sir.
And now everything's on the internet, Huddle. You have your Twitter feed, etc. And all of that. Everything's out there. But it'd be cool to be able to sit down and watch those in your life and how they played. Do you have in your possession today a harmonica?
Oh man, no. I usually keep it on me. I like to play nursery rhymes on it, but no, I forgot it this morning. I was worried about today was it's homecoming week, so today was anything but a backpack day. I was worried about. I had my RC car hooked up to a laundry basket driving around school, so I wasn't thinking about it this morning.
All right, so that is so cool that you play the harmonica. I was hoping you had it with you, so I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. Whenever you do get back home and you have it, I want you to see if somebody can film you 30 seconds or so playing the harmonica for us, okay?
Yes, sir.
Will you do that for me? So that's one of your talents. How much do you play and around with and rebuild or mess with your electric cars?
Whenever I get a chance to, I take them out to drive. I've had to restructure the wheels, put on different suspension kits. It's just another one of my hobbies. It's on and off every week.
What is your other hobby?
I like to play the drums, or not the drums. I like to play the snare drum. I was in the band from 6th grade to my sophomore year, so I kind of miss playing the drums. I don't really miss the summer band days that are all day. But
out on the asphalt and the concrete and all that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. So I got to tell you a story about me. So I'm in 8th grade. And you had to take an elective, whether it's a language or what. So I had to take a semester of band. And And I said, I'll just go in there and I'll play the drums. I had no clue. I had no rhythm. I'm actually pretty, not ambidextrous, but I have, pretty good coordination. Did you just start playing the drums or did you have to learn to play the drums?
No, I've always had rhythm. I was always tapping my pencil in class, going along with the songs, but definitely playing the snare drum is something you got to learn. You got to learn the different techniques, the flams, the paradiddles. You got to learn all types of stuff. So I definitely had to learn it.
All right. So this is Ryland Morris. He's committed to Stanford. He plays at Honeygrove. He has put up huge numbers, even after missing games some last year, and 375 yards against Blue Ridge and 8 touchdowns. And you are looking at legacy. There's some names like DeMontre Finney, Trell Pruitt. Even back in the mid-'90s, there was Allen, I think it was Stevenson. They put up single-season yards and touchdowns. How do you know about what's next for you along the way up the ladder with the records at Honeygrove? Do you?
No, I don't know, but I always leave the future up to God. I know that he has a plan, and I just try to follow along with it, pray for guidance, and go from there and take it, knowing that I have confidence in my abilities. So I just take it day by day.
You are, and not many people have been this way. And I appreciate your time. I'm not going to keep you much longer. A homecoming week, and you Como Picton, right? This week, I think, is who you play. 4-star running back. He's rated as a 4-star receiver and a 4-star athlete. What, 5'10", 185, 190? What are you right now?
185.
185,
yes,
and of course committed to Stanford. He's got it all. What did you do? What was your score on the SAT test?
I still am waiting for my scores to get back. I had to take them. I didn't think I was gonna have to take it for Baylor, so I wasn't gonna take it. But I took it a couple of weeks ago. I took the ACT and then I took the SAC, so I'm still waiting on those results.
Okay, I'll share this with you as well. My dad was military. We went all over the world. We lived in. How about this? I was born in Nebraska. We moved to Guam. And then was at Arizona, my dad went to ASU to get his master's. He's a Naval Academy graduate. We then moved to Virginia. He was at the Pentagon, then San Antonio, then Japan, and then back to San Antonio. So I had to tell you, I never got a letter from Stanford, Ryland. No one at Stanford or Harvard or anyone. I ended up taking the ACT, and I barely got that done. And I ended up going to a junior college, and then went to Stephen F. Austin, which is a good school for especially broadcasting and all that kind of stuff. I really appreciate your story for all of what you're taking care of. I know you have higher goals. So you guys have made a nice run. Honeygrove has not usually been too deep, but you made a nice run. What was it, 12-2 recently?
Yes,
how good can this team be, in your opinion?
Oh, it can be just as good. I mean, we have all of our secondary back. We have a lot of our skill players back. Our O-lineman has taken over that role. Our linebackers, we have a veteran linebacker, Mason Banker, which he put up crazy numbers last year, and he's on pace to do the same thing. We just have a lot of younger guys coming together, and I think we can go just as far, if not further, with the confidence and the execution and buying into the program. So I think this for this team, there's nothing but up.
1934, a guy named Earl Worley was the head coach for Honeygrove, won 10 games.
Yes, sir.
They did not win 10 more, in 1966 with Donnie Duncan. 3 years in a row, they had 11, 13, and 12 wins with Philip Holt and Billy Bilderback. And then Charles Brown had 3 consecutive 10-win seasons. And then last year, 12-2. The year before that, 10-3 with Shane Fletcher. Now Kyle Little, 10 wins with Glenn Schulke. I've known him a long time in 19. And then 10 by Brian Lewis. So there's a history there. How hungry is the community and the school to have something even deeper than what you've been able to do?
Oh, we've always been chasing the state championship at Honeygrove. Our fans have always given us great support. They're always rooting for us. But I feel like this season is for the fans, knowing that we lost so many seniors last year. And I feel like this season is a chance to bring the fans to exceed their expectations of what they had for us this year. I feel like we're all hungry for that state championship. So, yeah.
One more question. What about you that I have not brought up can you share with somebody? I also know you're very much heavily involved with your faith in your church. What else? One more thing maybe unique about you that people don't know unless they really do know you.
One thing that people don't know. I'm a pretty open book. I guess people ask a lot about me. I watch anime. That might be one.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
There you go. You do it all, and keep being who you are with the support system that you have. And thanks to Kyle Little at Honey Grove for allowing us to have you, especially with you are always pulled out of classes when recruiters are coming by. And of course, as you mentioned, homecoming. Good luck this week with Como Picton. I know you guys are a heavy favorite. It's a great pleasure. Ryland, I've done high school football player interviews for 45 years, and this has been one I've really, really appreciated. Good luck to you, and good luck with the rest of what you have in front of you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Ryland Morris, he's going to go at some point. He's going to send us a video of the harmonica. Not the harmonica, but playing it, and we'll try to get that included. Thank you, buddy. Good to see you. Ryland Morris, what a great story, and a heck of a football player, athlete, and academic, all of that. It's what it, man, and I don't know, will he be the homecoming king? I don't know. Sometimes that's not, but he's Mr. Honey Grove as far as I'm concerned, with all due respect to anybody. Garrett, we've done a lot of interviews. A lot of times we have coaches.
Right.
But what a story.
That's magnificent, man. It's easy listening to him to see why Stanford's interested in a person with that kind of character and just the human being that he is.
Hey, by the way, there's other schools. They're not giving up on him, but Stanford, he was committed to Baylor. I remember when that happened, and I knew of him, and I was like, that's a great pickup for Keenan Hall. And, of course, they're still working on him, among others. Thank you to Ryland Morris. Thank you to Honey Grove High School principal and down, Kyle Little, the AD, or the football coach, for giving us that time. When we come back, the best games of week number 6, as I said to start the show, it is October, and now the temperatures maybe start to get a little bit cooler. The weather will change, maybe not this week, but soon. And this is the 365 Sports and Smoaky.com Texas High School Football Podcast.
My go-to guy. Can you fix my smartphone?
Yes.
You have car batteries?
Yeah.
What about golf cart batteries?
Of course.
Battery from a T-fob?
Absolutely.
My boat?
Huge variety.
Toy boat?
Sure.
Motorcycles?
You bet.
My apartment building?
Whole building.
Do you have batteries for my party lights?
Yeah.
Batteries Plus, the experts in charge.
Whatever it is you wrangle, whatever seeds you sow, no matter what you nurture or what you choose to grow, at Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, we're proud to protect all Texans.
Peters Ram in Longview is gearing up for this football season during the Make This the Summer event going on now. Make all the right moves by getting 25% off MSRP on new select Ram 1500 Lone Star Crew Cabs. The season is looking good with the largest selection of new Ram trucks at Peters Ram during the Make This the Summer event. Online at peterscars.com.
At Sturdy Steel, we build more than grandstands and press boxes. We build the spaces where communities come together. Based in Texas and serving communities nationwide, we're proud of our reputation for dependable, high-quality work and strong client relationships that stand the test of time. From concept to installation, our team of skilled drafters, welders, and installers takes pride in delivering seating solutions designed to last. With a focus on dependability, transparency, and service, we are here to make the unique needs of architects, contractors, schools, and venues across the country. We ensure every project is seamless, sturdy, and ready for generations of fans to enjoy. That's Sturdy Steel. This is David Smoak's statewide Texas high school football podcast on 365 Sports and powered by Smoaky.com and sponsored by Peter Chevrolet in Longview, an innovative third-generation family dealership dedicated to ethics, integrity, and the community, while creating friendly, intelligent, and transparent environment to assist with any automotive need, large or small.
McNair in the gun with under 2 minutes left, down 44-0, trying to get a score. English right side, and he will score. Touchdown, the senior, Ryland English from 2 yards out.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. We are an insurance provider built by Texans for Texans. We've been protecting families in our great state since 1952. Sturdy Steel. We build more than grandstands and press boxes. We build the spaces where communities come together. Based in Texas and serving communities nationwide. Batteries Plus. We have the person who can fix what you need with expert knowledge on batteries and have you on your way and good to go in no time. Batteries Plus, the experts in charge. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, with locations throughout the Southwest, serving up tasty food since 1989, including off I-35 in Waco. Next in line, Marco's Pizza, the fastest growing pizza brand in America. Marco's Pizza, Marcos.com. Pizza lovers get it with 5 locations in the Waco area. Bird Culchin Ford on the Loop and Highway 6 in Waco. And Waco's trusted Ford dealer since 1936. And customers know they can expect us to be fair, honest, affordable, and always committed to the tradition of quality service.
We close out every week with games that Jerry Forrest and Pigskin Prep put up on his site. Every game. I mean, we're talking the smallest of private schools in 6-man, the smallest of UIL public schools in 6-man to the highest level of all, 6A, throughout the state. There's like a bunch of these games. I pick about 15 every week. Here are, do it again, left number black, that team is favored by that many points. Right number black, that team is favored by, and you see 1, 1, 2, 1. And then the blue number is the overall ranking. For example, West Plains is number 5 in their class. Argyle Liberty Christian 2, total 7. The lower the number on the right-hand side, the better the game based on the index will be. Aledo and Denton Ryan. Aledo favored. They're rolling again. So is Denton Ryan. That's a great one. Yoakum, I mentioned Blanco. I call it Blanco. 4-1, but they're scoring a bunch of points. Yoakum 4-1. That should be a hell of a game. Midland Greenwood, one of the great stories this year. 5-0 against Lubbock Cooper Liberty. 5-0 against 5-0. Summer Creek and Atascocita, man, that area. You know all those teams that play down there. It's phenomenal. Jefferson, they were knocked off this past week. 3-2 against Atlanta. I'll tell you one thing. They're going to have guys that can play in the trenches on either side of the ball, but they'll have guys who can run. I covered that area I still think like 2002 or 3 Atlanta, the Rabbits, who beat Robinson for the state championship. That was one of the best teams I've seen. It got hot at the end of the year with tremendous speed. Let's see, Malakoff, 2-2, and they play Commerce. Do you know what Commerce just did? They beat what was number 1 ranked Winsboro. Commerce a slight favorite. That's interesting what they're doing at Commerce. At Cal Allen against Sinton, Melissa Lovejoy. Todd Dodge has got a couple of losses. Melissa's a heavy favorite. Kilgore, Henderson. Kilgore's a heavy favorite. We know how good they are. The only loss was to Carthage. But this is one of those, they've played like 80 to 120 times. You never know. In fact, I think I mentioned that last year, and somebody said, man, Smoky Kilgore so much. Henderson beat them, I think, last year in an upset. Chilton, 10-point pick against Mart. Mart's 1-3 with Chris Lancaster and just lost to Bremont. Then you have some pick'em games, and they should be. Geyer and Coppell, Beaumont, Westbrook, and Lufkin. Mansfield, Timberview, a field goal pick against Arlington. Seguin is 5-0, and Hooks and Timpson. 2 teams at 2-2. They're both good, but Timpson, a slight favorite. Life without Terry Bussey for the last couple of years. Thanks to Garrett Ross. Thanks to all of our great sponsors. Thanks to Rudy's and Peter Chevrolet and so many others that help us put this on every single week. Batteries Plus, Baylor Scott & White, Southwest Sports Medicine, Sturdy Steel, and then also Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. And, of course, I mentioned Peters and my great friend in Randy Peters with his dealership in Longview. For Garrett Ross, Week 7, right around the corner. I'll be at the Cyril Stadium in Killeen, one of the new stadiums on the Chaparral High School campus, for that Shoemaker game with Midway. Whatever game you go to, whatever game you watch or listen to, enjoy it. Week number 6 of the high school season's upon us. I'm David Smoak, and thanks for your time. 365 Sports and Smoaky.com.